Let's run it. Hour number 2 of FT Live. We're bringing it right off the jump with the great Tony Kemp joining us for the first time on FT Live. Tony, great to have you on. Appreciate the time, dude. And also just want to get right into the most important part of why we want to chat with you at this very moment. So how you doing today, first of all, man?
Hey, first of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys making the debut. Feels like opening day again. Off day here in Oakland. So, love an off day in the big leagues.
Yeah, I appreciate you spending a little time with us, and also the time that you're devoting to the just awful situation going on in Maui. So from a post that you put up on socials, the devastating wildfires in Maui have claimed more than 100 lives and devastated the area where so many live and work, and my heart goes out to those affected. I have some cool custom bats and cleats from IKB Customs that have gotten some attention recently. I'd like to use them to raise some money for relief efforts. First one is the Hey Arnold bat, seen in photos below. I see that one all the way to the right. So super cool bats. Love that, dude. What else can you add? And we obviously value and respect what you're doing there to try and raise money quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know just sometimes before you go out to a game, you're checking your phone and those fires had popped up, and I was watching people jump into the water to escape the fires, and just trying to do my part. And obviously, with the custom bats and the cleats are going to come as well. But my wife and I, we donated to one of the kitchens down there who are collecting money as well to shelters who are looking for food. So obviously a terrible situation. But, I grew up a 90s kid, and Hey Arnold and Rocket Power are my two favorite cartoons growing up. And my customs guy, Keenan, out of Nashville, kind of just came up with this idea. Warren made a cool catch in St. Louis, and I don't know. I don't know if they went viral, but man, it kind of blew up social media, and I feel like took a lot of people back to their childhoods of watching these cartoons growing up. So I said, you know what, wore these cleats once, made a pretty cool catch with them, and let's do our part and help out and donate some money and help some people in need right now.
You have a connection to Maui? You have a connection there? Or is it just more like guys you played with and like just your heart went out to them when you saw the videos?
Yeah, I never been to Hawaii. I know my parents went one time, and our aunt had to babysit us for about a week. So that was a fun week. But other than that, no, not really any ties to Hawaii. But, just I feel like doing my part and, hopefully, seeing athletes around, the MLB will join in too.
I was going to say, Tony, how does a guy from Tennessee get so involved with Maui? I mean, Kratz, you nailed it, because I was wondering the same thing. You were like the original Vandy boy. So, for you to promote like the Maui, it's awesome, because I played out in Hawaii. I know what the people are like out there in Hawaii. So I salute you for what you're doing, and as a former player, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys would be doing the same things, and you guys know how it is. It's when you have a platform like this, anything that you can do to push a positive movement forward, you got to do. So, obviously respect y'all's careers, Kratzy. We didn't really cross paths too much, but nothing but good things said about you in the Houston Astros organization. And obviously AJ, man, over 2,000 career hits. I mean, I don't know how your body held up all those years, man, but much love to y'all.
Tell him, AJ. Wait, tell him what Martin Maldonado asked you this weekend.
Yeah, the guy you were traded for, Maldonado. We had him on Fox this past weekend. He goes, man, you caught all those games. How do you feel? And I looked at him. I go, Martin, I'll catch a game tomorrow, buddy. I got nothing wrong. And he's like, no way. Yeah, and Kratz said the same thing, but Kratz, there's a little different. Kratz got 2,000 at bats, including high school. So he had a little different level of playing. But no, I'm very fortunate, very lucky. But I want to talk about the Vandy boys, man. Were you the original Vandy boy? Were you the original Vandy boy?
He's 31. You calling him old?
No, I'm saying like him and like David Price, right? And some of those guys, like Sonny Gray, you guys were like the original guys. And now every kid, I have a 16-year-old kid. Kratz has a 16-year-old kid. Every kid wants to be a Vandy boy. And I mean, you guys kind of started it.
Yeah, it's man, what a takeoff of a program that Corbin's done. Actually funny, I texted him. You guys know how it is. Sometimes after games, that lactic acid really hasn't got out of your body, so your body's kind of just aching, and you're up in bed. It was probably 1 a.m. and I just shot Corbs a text and just said, love you. And That guy's kind of changed my career, and I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys without him. And just the way he develops young men, and the type of father figure that he takes over guys over there. And obviously, when I was in high school, watching guys like Price that was from Murfreesboro and right there in the own backyard was pretty cool. So once I got an offer from there, I had to actually decommit from East Carolina. I actually, still in my heart, I feel bad about that. But I couldn't pass up an offer to play at Vanderbilt.
We need one Tim Corbin story that you haven't told anybody. And I'm not looking for the, oh, I love you text back. I'm looking for a true Tim Corbin. And you know what I'm talking about.
Come on now. Yeah, I'll give you one. My sophomore year, we went down to Gainesville to play Florida.
Go Gator.
And man, they were our kryptonite. I mean, we went 54-12 my freshman year, and 5 of those losses were to Florida. 1 in the SEC championship, and 2 of those came in the College World Series. So they always had our number. But anyway, fast forward to sophomore year, we drive down on the sleeper buses. Always my favorite. You guys know how it is being in on road trips, on show flights. Those are the times you dream about. So we're driving down, we get swept by Florida. And after we got swept, this dude wore his uniform all the way back from Gainesville to Nashville in his jersey. He was so pissed. And so I always tell that story that, Corbs is always for the boys, but he wore his uniform after that sweep from Gainesville all the way back to Nashville on a sleeper bus. I was like, that's impressive.
I like that.
I'm going to say this, go Gator.
Thank you, AJ. All right, so being that AJ already called you super old because you're an original Vandy boy.
I didn't call him super old. I think it's awesome.
No offense taken. I'm good. No. I got 2 kids. I got 2 kids now, so I am up there. I'm not 23 anymore. So
no wonder you're tired. You got 2 kids.
It is what it is. By the way, I think it's still criminal that we only get 72 hours for paternity leave. That's can we get 4 to 5 maybe? Can we get a couple more days out of paternity leave when we welcome a life into this world?
My kid was born. I played the next day. I missed a game. We didn't have paternity leave. You guys are spoiled, man.
Did you not have paternity leave?
Us old guys, we didn't have paternity leave. My daughter was born September, Labor Day in 2005, and we were supposed to have an off day, so we scheduled her to be born on that day. We induced her, and when we did it, we were supposed to have the off day. We had a rain out against Boston, so the team was playing in Fenway. I'm watching the game on the TV as my wife's in labor, and then the next day I flew back to Chicago and played. We didn't have paternity leave. There was no paternity leave. They're like, "Oh, you had a kid?" I promise you, we did not. They're like, "You better be back tomorrow."
You're backing at it. No, we're moving into a new house, so it was my wife's dealing with the toddler, newborn, renovations in a new house. I'm like, man, I need another day, dude.
And a new newborn. Like we're talking like a few days ago, no? This was last week?
Yeah. Her name's Naomi Lee. She came August 10th, 6:15 p.m.
Wow.
Second girl, super blessed. Everyone's healthy. Can't ask for anything more, man.
Congratulations, dude.
Congrats, man. Now, would you have named her like the one fan from LA named his daughter Mookie? Would you Naomi Mookie? Come on.
Man, you know what? You know what's funny is, so me and Mookie played together in a summer league team in Nashville for 3 summers. And seeing how much of a superstar that guy is now, I'm so happy for that dude. And when I heard that story, the funny thing is, when he said that he hit his furthest home run, it was actually over my head in left field. So I can confirm that was probably the furthest ball that he'd ever hit. And I texted him and I said, "Where'd that juice come from, kid?" And, obviously he laughed and said, he told me the story. So, Mookie, we had to pass on Mookie for the middle name.
Well, and also I just want to give more context because I talked to you about it years ago when I was doing an interview with you, I think on the field at some point. I think it's actually the Astros Red Sox series from years back, whatever it was, the ALCS. Mm-hmm. So for these guys, they might not know why you recruited Mookie to play on that team and he declined. And it is not because he doesn't like you, because as our audience can already tell, you're a great dude.
Come on, man. to this day, this story still ticks me off. I'm like, bro, we would have found a way to make you. I could have let off. You could have let off. I could hit second. You could hit second. Mookie Betts would have played on that team. Come on. I did not hinder a future Hall of Famer from not playing at Vanderbilt.
It's a great
wait,
story, though.
wait,
AJ, that's what Mookie says. Mookie says, like, if you ask him, he'll be like, I didn't go to play with Kemp because he was like, I'm not going to play there because I won't play over you. And I was like, dude, there's 9 people on the field.
Yeah, so it's actually funny because anytime we got recruits, like obviously I wanted like the top recruits to come, like, let's have a good time, give me the best recruits.
We're gonna take him down to Broadway, show him a good time. Yeah.
I mean, it was more Demumbrium. That was more the college scene back in the day. But Mookie is still the only guy that I never got to come to Vandy. So it stings. It still stings.
Wow. We got to get Mookie on and ask him about this.
We just had Mookie on.
We got to get him on again because now we have new breaking news. Mookie didn't go to Vanderbilt because he hates Tony Kemp. That's what I just heard.
That's how AJ likes his headlines, Tony.
What a character.
Hey,
Tony. Oh, go ahead, Scott.
AJ.
No, I was going to ask him about the Oakland A's. I mean, I want to hear about some Oakland A's stuff. And you guys have been playing better. I know it's been a rough year, but Kotze. I played with Kotze. I played under Aldretti, your first base coach. I know a lot of those guys. It's been a rough year, but I think you guys are playing better when you watch the way the product on the field. It has improved.
Yeah, man. I mean, obviously it's a different situation here in Oakland. I think we were looking around and we had 2 guys in arbitration and 1 guy in free agency on the roster. And I think everybody else was on the major league minimum. So definitely have to have a lot of patience with these guys. I mean, you guys know just the way you get better in the big leagues is experience throughout years. The more volume you get, the more stuff that's going to hit the fan. And, it's just on a bigger scale under a microscope that there are more people watching. And, these guys are getting everyday at bats, but there's also a lot of young, talented prospects who have played well. I mean, you look at Geloff, who's started off hot, and then you got Soderstrom, who hit a 420-foot home run yesterday, and Lawrence Butler. And, I even got to applaud Jordan Diaz. We call him Jumbo. I don't know if you guys remember Jumbo Diaz, but I call him Jumbo. He's at third base now, learning a new position and playing well. So, yeah, a lot of patience over here. Just happy to be it's crazy. I only got, a little over 6 years in the big leagues, but I'm a vet over here. So just allowing these young guys to play and, when things go bad, just pulling them over and say, it's all right, get the next one. But, the mistakes that are made, they're made at 100%. So you can't fault the guys. They're putting in the effort for sure.
We just had a guest on talking about analytic things and, non-analytic things. And he said in his quote was, maybe big league hitters aren't willing to make adjustments. You ever make adjustments in the big leagues?
Come on, man. Hey, it's a different game. It's a different game with analytics and stuff. And that's a whole nother topic. Obviously analytics is one thing, but the human element, human instincts, you can't teach that either. Not all lefties are created equal. Not all righties are created equal. And sometimes, like right now, I have reverse splits. I'm hitting better off lefties than I am off righties right now. And you can't explain that. But in the matchup world of analytics, you would say, hey, this guy doesn't have a good chance of this. And you got to make that adjustment. Obviously, I feel like you guys know every year in the big leagues, it's constantly changing. And it's how you have to make your own adjustment to stay in the league. The league is not the same as it was when I came in 2016. So now in 2023, you got to shift gears and you got to make adjustments to guys like Spencer Strider, Shohei Ohtani, Jacob deGrom, these guys who are out here throwing invisibles. So, analytics is one thing. Human instincts, human element, that's a whole nother ballgame.
All right, take it to the human instincts when you're the vet. Are you the mic guy? Are you the mic guy on the bus? Because I always wonder.
Man, Kratzy, there's some stories about you getting on that mic, dude, and I love it. Obviously taking some of those things to the grave with me, but I've been known to do the mic here and there. That's like I said, all the perks of the big leagues, you enjoy it for what it is. But, obviously I feel like once you're done playing, it's all about the guys in the clubhouse, the boys, and getting on the mic and roasting guys when they needed to, picking guys up when they need to. So to finally get in the front, Trevor May does the mic as well. So we kind of been splitting time. So when one of us gets tired, we kind of give it to the next guy. So it's been we've been keeping it as light as we can over here.
So who's the one who's sang the best, or who's told the best story?
I think to this date we got JJ Bleday for best story, anchor down, and I feel like the best guy who sang so far, I'm gonna have to give it to Zach Giloff. He's
Nice.
he knows he gets it. He's got that feel of a big leaguer. Really hasn't wavered so far, and he put up a good performance. So he got the check mark. He didn't get sent to the bathroom.
All right. What's the number one song sang? Because like I'm not that old. I'm not as old as Scott wants to. I'm old. That's fine.
You're old.
But it was like Santeria by whatever that.
Sublime?
Sublime. Every guy from California, that was their go-to song.
Are you proud of me, Kratz? I said a non-electronic music song.
You did.
Yeah.
Thank
you. I mean, we don't repeat songs. If someone sang a song, you got to go with something fresh. So, and if he killed that song, that would be very dangerous to try to follow up that act. So I would advise against going against, a song back to back. That's dangerous.
I like it. No,
that's
smart.
fair.
That's smart.
Going to Banyo.
Wait, so on that personality-wise, we've spoken on the A's to Brent Rooker. We had Jace Peterson before he was traded. So who's the next Oakland A that we need to speak to based on this conversation? Personality. It could be one of the newbies or it could be someone else. But, like, who's a guy where you're like, yo? Because the other thing we do on this show, I think, is sometimes highlight a player that, like, in a relaxed, authentic setting can just let loose and say whatever the hell he wants in, like, a mini podcast form, because we don't grab guys for an hour plus. We know it's the season.
I'm going to have to go with my my seat buddy on the plane, Nick Allen. He's an interesting cat that, I feel like doesn't get praised enough for what he does. Smaller frame guy, plays shortstop, got a good presence. But once you get to know him, once you get to really understand what this guy's about, he's a baller. So I think I would say Nick Allen.
Wait, you have a seat buddy? What kind of planes are you guys flying? Commercial? You guys?
No, it's show cards in the back, baby. We sit at a table, so Nick sits next to me. He's got the window seat.
Okay, good. I was hoping they weren't. The A's were doing some things.
Yeah,
wrong,
you know what I
can see the A's.
Hey, I'll say this about the A's. It might be, people might look and say, the A's, whatever. Mickey Morabito, the travel sec, who's been here for 40 plus years, we travel nice. We always stay at a Four Seasons or a Ritz whenever we travel. We got card tables in the back. We travel nice. So that's one thing I will say about Oakland is they know how to take care of their guys when we travel.
Yeah, that's good. See, Tony, you've learned over your 6+ years. Kiss up to the travel guy, because you know what? When you get to the hotel, guess what? Guess what, Mr. Kemp? You got upgraded miraculously. I don't know how. So man. Mickey, I actually saw Mickey when you guys were in Dallas earlier this year when you guys were playing the Rangers. Had a nice chat with him in the bar there at the Four Seasons. So yeah, he's a good guy. He's been around forever. So, but I know what you're doing there. I get it.
Hey, Mickey, if you really know Mickey, he likes a dirty martini. So
I'm well aware.
So anytime I'm at the bar, he's drinking for free. That's my guy. And obviously those travel secs work their butt off. I mean, your family comes in town, you need to buy extra rooms. And, this guy, if you tell him one thing, not even a text, just tell him at a bar or tell him at the field, he's got a really good memory. And to this day, this is my 4th year in Oakland. He's never messed up. And to say that about a travel sec is saying something.
Coming up through Houston, you came up through Houston's system when they were trying some new things out. how did that stuff feel when they were trying new things out? Or were you like, man, I don't want to try this stuff. I know what I'm doing. I'm a 5th rounder out of Vandy. I know what I got to do. And how did they implement it for you in the sense of like, all right, I'm going to, I want to make it to the big leagues. Is this going to work in the big leagues? Or were they like, no, here, put this on your bat. We're going to have you face this crazy stuff.
Yeah. I feel like with Houston, we had a lot of good talent. There was a lot of stuff being thrown at us at the time. Jeff Albert was the hitting coordinator at the time. And I bought in. I knew a little bit about hitting, obviously had some good years at Vanderbilt, had some good, good season in the Cape Cod League. But it was all about how long your bat was staying through the zone on plane. And it really didn't make sense to me at first. I've always been like a feel hitter, not really mechanically sound. I like to go out there and just feel what my body's telling me. And so once they sat me down and kind of broke down like in a PowerPoint how this worked, I bought into it. And, I think that Houston develops with some of the best organizations in the big leagues. And maybe I'm biased because I was drafted by them and came up through the system. But, there's a reason that those guys have been to, 5 straight ALCSs and a couple World Series in the past couple of years. There's a reason that, that stuff plays.
Hey, Tony, a couple fan questions. One from Troy. He said, most fun teammate that you've ever played with?
Woo! Most fun teammate I've ever played with.
Jake Marisnik.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
So now you can't use him. He's off the board.
I love Jake. Jake's my guy. I'll probably have to say George Springer.
Nice. Any reason in particular? Just, we know about George. Fun, always great attitude, a lot of energy, right?
Yeah. So when I got called up in 2016 and we were on the home side, his locker was next to mine. And man, that guy's a character. That guy's a character. So yeah, I'll probably have to say George Springer just because, you always remember when you're the first time stepping on that home side in the big leagues and there's a lot of stuff being thrown at you. And I feel like Georgie was kind of that guy that slowed the game down for me. And I went under his wing and great guy, great teammate too.
Did he buy you a lot of shit? Like, Lorenzo Cain's one of the hosts of this show some days, and we are finding out from many of his teammates that Lowe would be like buying dinners for everyone, taking some of the rookies out and just spending like thousands of dollars on new clothes for them. He was like, yo, I got you.
Man, this interview is probably going to last like 2 hours because, the stories that Springy was cool, man. Anytime we would go to play the Rangers or go play Seattle or go play Anaheim, he was always texting me, having me come over to his room. We'd order room service, kick it, have a couple beers, talk about the game. And as a rookie, that's cool. Springy had done some really cool things in the minor leagues that not a lot of guys had done. And when you get drafted, you see those guys who are on the cusp of the big leagues. And I remember when he got finally called up to the big leagues and just seeing how electric of a player he is. Can't say enough good things about him. But anytime we went out, I don't think I ever spent money on room service on the road. That was all George.
Perfect. Is this you now, though? Are you the guy for the A's? Are you the guy now? Because, you're like the vet. You keep saying you're the vet.
Yeah, man, we've went to a couple show dinners. Me and Jace Peterson end up splitting a bill in Cleveland, and we had about a showing of about 20 guys out of 26. So the other guys had families in town, so they got a pass, obviously. But we had a nice show dinner. James Caprillion, his guys set it up, and it was like kind of in a vault down in I don't even know. It's like an old bank, but yeah, it's that's kind of how you pass the torch. And the things that were done for you, you're kind of teaching these guys that this is what needs to happen. And doesn't matter how the season's going, you still need to bond with these guys, and you spend more time with these guys than your family. So those are the traditions in baseball that I hope keep getting passed down.
I love that. Tony, great to have you on, dude. Appreciate the time. And let's just remind everyone one more time, best way to get involved to help raise money for the relief efforts in Maui right now, the devastating wildfires that have been hitting the island. They can bid on these right now, these bats.
Yeah, so the Hey Arnold bat, we're gonna do them kind of in segments. So the Hey Arnold bats first. Once we get done here, I'm gonna tweet out a link, and you kind of go and set your donation of how it goes. The guidelines are kind of on Facebook, so I'll post it on my Twitter here in like 5 or 10 minutes.
Perfect. We will retweet and spread the word and all of that. So, Tony, awesome to have you on, dude. Appreciate the time for your debut. Hope you weren't too nervous.
So, like, the butterflies, man, killing me over here.
Yeah.
Tony, what size is that toothpick you're swinging? Maybe I'll get one of them for my boys. They don't even know who Hey Arnold is, but
Yeah. Shout out Old Hickory. I've been with Old Hick ever since 2013 when I got drafted, and those bats that got custom came from Nashville. So Old Hickory is the way.
ever since you saw Trout banging balls out, you're like, well, it might be the arrow. Get some juice in that bat.
Yeah. You guys know about that big league wood, that grade A. So once I saw Trout was swinging them, I said, well, if I can get to the big leagues and swing Old Hick, maybe I'll get some of that A1 grade big league stuff too. So haven't switched on him.
Yeah, you know why too? He ain't swinging Marucci. Marucci's at LSU money, so you know he's not about to touch Marucci bats.
Nothing SEC.
No,
Hey,
he ain't touching
man.
that Marucci bat.
Hey, we're all walking billboards, man.
That's true.
Us too, trust me.
Yeah.
We know.
Hold on,
We
wait.
got a show. Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Tony,
Hey,
have a good one, man. Enjoy the rest of the off day. Congrats again on the new addition to the fam, and good luck the rest of the way, dude.
All right, guys. I appreciate you having me on. We'll talk soon.
Okay, cheers.